Now this is called The Brothers Who Always Complain. Now once upon a time there were two brothers, Ned and Ted. They lived together in a nice house on a nice farm with a goat and a cow and a horse.
And a pigeon. Don't forget the pigeon, Ernie.
Oh, sorry, Bert. And a pigeon. And they always had plenty of everything they needed. Wood for their fire, and warm clothes for the winter, and books to read.
And oatmeal to eat. And don't forget the oatmeal, Ernie.
Right, Bert. In fact, old Ned and Ted never had to worry at all. Everything was just peachy. But instead of being happy and thinking about how lucky they were, they complained all the time. Ted would complain that the neighbors down the road had a bigger, nicer house to live in.
And Ned would complain that the neighbors across the road had more oatmeal to eat.
And they both would complain about the neighbor at the bottom of the hill who had 2 goats and 2 cows and 2 horses.
And 2 pigeons.
It's not fair, said Ted. We should have a bigger, nicer house.
It's not fair, said Ned. We should have a lot more oatmeal to eat.
It's not fair, said Ned and Ted together. We should have 3
goats and 3 cows and 3 horses and 3 pigeons.
And so, one night, Ned and Ted were sitting around in front of their cozy fire, just generally complaining that nothing was as nice or as big or as much or as many as it should be, when Ned said,
if only we could just wish for what we want and have our wishes come true.
And no sooner had Ned said that than there was a puff of smoke, and there appeared a magic little fairy-type person wearing tennis shoes and a pancake on her head.
Ernie, that's not right. Who ever heard of a fairy wearing tennis shoes and a pancake? Fairies have wings and clothes that keep changing colors.
Wings?
Yeah.
And clothes that change colors? Well, that's ridiculous, Bert. Who's going to believe that?
Who's going to believe a fairy wearing a pancake?
Oh, I see fairies wearing pancakes all the time, Bert.
And I see them with wings. So there.
Well, this one has a pancake, Bert.
Okay, but if she has a pancake, then she has to have wings. It's my fairy tale too, Ernie.
Well, okay, I guess that's fair, Bert, old buddy. Let's do that part again. One night, Ned said,
oh, if only we could just wish for what we want and have our wishes come true.
And suddenly, there was a puff of smoke, and there was a fairy with wings and a pancake on her head. And she told Ned and Ted that she would give them 3 wishes. 1 wish for Ned, 1 wish for Ted, and 1 wish that they would have to make together. And she said that whatever they wished for would come true. Then she politely tipped her pancake, flapped her wings, and flew up the chimney. Ned and Ted were very excited, and they began to talk about what kind of house to wish for.
And how much oatmeal.
And how many cows and horses.
And how many pigeons.
And pretty soon they began to argue, because Ted wanted a big ranch house with lots of horses and cows and a rope to twirl.
And Ned wanted an old castle with an iron gate and plenty of places for pigeons to build their nests. And Ned also wanted 1,000,000 bowls of plain oatmeal.
But Ted liked his with raisins and cinnamon. So you can see that they had a lot to argue about. They argued all night.
And finally, after arguing and arguing, they got very hungry because it was almost breakfast time. And without thinking, Ned said, boy, I'm hungry. I wish I had a bowl of plain oatmeal right now. And sure enough, as soon as he had said it, a bowl of plain oatmeal magically appeared before him.
You nincompoop, shouted Ted. Now look what you've done. You wasted your whole wish for 1 stupid bowl of oatmeal. And it doesn't even have raisins and cinnamon in it. I wish that bowl of oatmeal were stuck to your head.
And sure enough, as soon as Ted had said that, the bowl of oatmeal flew up and stuck to the top of Ned's head.
And so they each had wasted a wish. And the only wish left was the one they had to make together.
Ned tried and tried to pull the bowl of oatmeal off his head, but it wouldn't budge.
Ted tried too, but he couldn't do it either.
Finally, Ned said, there is only one thing left to do. We will have to use our last wish to wish the bowl of oatmeal off my head.
Oh, nothing doing, Ned, said Ted. We can't waste our last wish for something like that. We have to wish for a ranch with lots of cows and horses.
Fat chance, Ted, said Ned. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life with a bowl of oatmeal stuck to my head, and that's the only wish I will agree to make. And Ned refused to talk about any wish except the wish that would get the bowl of oatmeal off his head.
So Ted finally realized that his brother Ned would never change his mind, and there was nothing left to do but wish the bowl of oatmeal off his head. Just then the magic fairy appeared and asked if they were ready to make their last wish.
Yes, said Ned. We want to wish this bowl of oatmeal off my head.
Yeah, said Ted. We want to wish that bowl of oatmeal off old Ned's head.
And sure enough, as soon as they had finished speaking, the bowl of oatmeal was off Ned's head.
Well, there you go, said the magic fairy. Maybe that'll teach you guys a lesson. Don't start making wishes until you really have something to wish for. And she flew away up the chimney. Old Ted and Ned never saw her again, and they never complained for the rest of their lives either. The end.